Hey y'all, I'm back. I'm so sorry about that. I had an important phone call that I had to take. So I apologize for that. I'm gonna start off where I left. Mom, Milk of Magnesia. That's going to be my facial primer. I know you're like, ew, but have you tasted it? That's an even bigger ew. So I'm just going to use a little bit. I have an application brush for it, and I just brush it on lightly. You don't need a whole lot. And I'm going to tell you when it dries, it's going to look like chalk dust. And that's what is going to keep your foundation in place. See all these little marks and everything? It's going to cancel it out automatically and make your foundation go on very smoothly. You don't need a whole lot. Like I said, a little really does go a long way. But I put it all over my face. And I'm going to wait until it dries. Bring out the fan, child. So yeah, just making sure it dries. And as you can see, it's starting to like turn white, and that's okay. That's what you want it to do. And once it dries, your face is going to kind of feel just a tad bit stiff, but that's okay. It's supposed to feel like that. It's supposed to look like...
Excuse me, boss. You have a text message.
I'm sorry. Got text messages coming in, phone calls coming in. Alright, now that that has dried on my face, yeah, it looks crazy for the time being, but trust the process. So I'm going to go in. I had to mix my foundation. I have this Black Radiance in Cocoa Bean. It's a little darker than my complexion, but my complexion changes like the weather, literally. So I had to mix it with my Juvia's Place, a Velvet Matte, and this is I Am Magic, what's the name? Savannah 440. So I'm just going to go in. Y'all got so many brushes over here that I don't know what to do, but here it is. I'll go in with my foundation brush and just dab a little bit over my face before I brush it completely in. And you want to make sure to get your neck so that everything matches. You don't want to have a light face and a dark neck. I mean, if that's your thing, go with it, honey. No judgment here. That's why I get for talking so much. But let's try to make sure everything matches, maybe. No judge, no tea, no shade. You know, we've all been there. But when you know better, you do better. Some of us. Some of us just don't care. But to each its own. Now I'm going to go in With my foundation brush, it is a flat head brush. So I'm just going to go in and dab and dab and dab. Making sure I get it all in. Yeah, excuse my double chin. God just blesses some of us with double, you know. You got to get that Elisha mentality. I want a double portion. I didn't ask for the double chin life. The double chin life chose me, honey. But we rocking with it and we rolling. And she's still fine. I just make sure I have gotten all the foundation blended in. Because you don't want any caked up on your face. Because let's face it, your face is the first thing that people see when you walk into a room. So you just want to make sure you have um, everything blended. Now I could stop here, throw on some eyeliner, and call it a day, but I just want to conceal and contour just a tad bit to give it a more eloquent look, just in case if I were going to if I had a traditional job. I work night shift, so I don't typically have to wear makeup to work. Sometimes I do when the spirit moves me, but not so much typically, no. So I'm going to go in with my Black Radiance HD corrector. This is the shade, what is the shade? I don't see it. It's deep. Deep. So I'm just going to take a dab to contour my nose. You don't need a whole lot because you're going to blend it out. And I know it looks crazy, y'all. Trust the process. And I'm going to go along the side where my hairline is, just to make sure it blends in with my hairline and my scalp and it's not too light. And I'm not using a whole lot contouring my cheekbones. And if you are like me and you were blessed with that extra chin, you contour that as well to give it a more of a shapely look. And I'm going to take my flat foundation brush that still has a little foundation on it, and I'm just going to dab and blend in. Like I said, a little can go really, really far, guys. So you don't have to feel like you're packing it on, because once it's on. You know, you can always add more, but the takeoff, not so much, unless you're taking it all off. Just a little light something, something. And I'm going in with my Juvia's Place palette, the color Kufuru, and I'm just going to go back over what I just did. And I know it looks dark, I'm just going to blend it out. And I do the same for my chin. And I'm going to go in with a blending brush and blend my nose. And you'll see as you go along, it starts to come together. You can start to see the vision a little bit better as you go along. Now, what I'm also going to do with my Juvia's Place foundation, because I found the color to be a little bit too light for me to use as a foundation. So instead of pushing it to the side and not using it at all, I'm going to use it as a contour. So I'm going to go under my eyes. And contour. Do the same for the other side. Yeah, I got grocery bags under my eyes, but that's okay This is going to conceal all of that. So where I contoured my nose, I'm just going to take a little line to contour my nose. Basically your T-zone area, your forehead, your nose, under eye, under your nose, top of your lip, and your chin. So when light hits it, the right way, natural light hits it, any type of light hits it, you'll see these places are going to be highlighted on your face. So I'm looking for, I'm going to take my EcoTools brush and just get this blended in. And like everything else, I'm just dabbing. Basically pressing it in my skin. Not hard, but not too soft, just enough to allow it to blend with the rest of my makeup. You can see already that contouring has slimmed my face dramatically, except when I turn to the side. So, but you get the point, you get the gist of it. Blend it out, blend it out, blend it out, honey. And what you do for one side, you do for the other. And watch those bags disappear. They'll be back later once I take this off. But for the time being, honey, them bags is in the cabinet. Now what I'm going to do is take my foundation brush and just go back and blend everything in so it looks seamless. Like you don't know where your foundation begins and your contour ends and vice versa. You just want everything to blend perfectly as much as you possibly can. And I'm going to go back and do that nose again. Just a tad bit. I have really funny shaped nose, compliments of my grandparents, my great grandparents, and my daddy. So I kind of want to get it a little thinner, not too much. But I'm going to go in and blend that back out some. And I just have to tell you, I'll be using my eyeshadow palette. Go back and for my blush, and I'm going to use Juvia's Place as well. I'll be using Coral, Nubian 3 Coral. For my blush, I don't want it to be too loud. I want it to be subtle. So again, I'm using the Juvia's Place Nubian 3 Coral. I just love their presentation. I just love that we're on the cover of these as queens. That's everything for me. So right above where I used the contour, I'm going to apply my blush. I already have little rosy cheeks, so um, sorry. I'm going to, yeah, I'm silly. I need to set my under eye before I start that crayon I was telling y'all about before. And I'm using the Airspun setting powder. And I went too far. And if that happens, just go back over it. It happens. Mistakes happen. So it's okay. A little goes a long way, you guys. And everywhere that I have concealed, I'm just going to set. And under my contour, I'm just going to set that as well. My forehead as well. And I'm also going to set my brows so they'll last just a few days longer. Oh. And I'm going to go in with my Juvia's Place, the Heroin highlighter. Y'all, this highlighter. Can you see that? It's everything. 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 It is. It really, really is for me. So while I'm allowing that to set in, I'm going to go ahead and line my eyes, my eyeliner. And hopefully I don't cry. I'm using Essence Super Precise Eyeliner. It's long lasting and waterproof. Exactly what I need. So I just pull my eyelids taut like this. See, shadows caked up some. So let me go back in just for 1 second. And it happens sometimes, guys. You just have to go back in and tighten up wherever you have loose ends. It's okay. But as I was saying, I'm going to go in